Welcome to TMZ Live. I am disappointed in Barack Obama, who I think is an incredibly smart man.
You know what? I know for a fact he's disappointed in you. How about that?
He may well be. He may well be. But I'm disappointed because he has a premise. This is about aliens, a premise that if there were really aliens, the government's so bad at keeping things secret that somebody would have leaked it out. But that's not the history of our country. There are plenty of conspiracies that are not only kept from the public, but kept from the president.
Well, there's also a flaw because there are people who have come forward. So he's saying that people in the government would know about it and it would come out.
And there are people who say they know about it.
And there are people in the government who have said they know about it.
So he goes on Colbert's show.
Yes, sat down doing an interview. Actually, the interview setting is at the former president's library.
In Hyde Park, or south side of Chicago.
Yes, so they were talking about that. But then, of course, Colbert brought up the comments that Barack Obama made back in, I think it was February, about aliens. And he sort of followed up on this. Here's what the former president is saying now about aliens. And even though it seems like he was dismissing it, he's not saying it's completely out of the question.
One of the things you learn as president is government is terrible at keeping secrets. This idea of conspiracy theories, if there were aliens or alien spaceships or anything under the control of the United States government that we knew about, seen, photographs, what have you, I promise you, some guy guarding the installation would have taken a selfie with one of the aliens and sent it to his girlfriend to impress him.
Do you wish they were real?
I actually do. All right, I'm putting in a plug now.
Okay.
First Contact. I think I would be a good emissary for the planet.
You represent me.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a diverse background, some experience in statecraft and diplomacy. I'm friendly.
Okay.
You know.
I think he would be a good ambassador.
Some experience in diplomacy.
I think he would be a good ambassador. But I think the concept of it would all leak out because the government's terrible at keeping secrets. The Kennedy assassination has been a cover-up for decades upon decades.
But why do you believe that one? There's also the moon landing. There's all sorts of conspiracies that you dismiss. Well, why do you dismiss that out of hand?
Okay, I kind of do because I think it's absurd, and there were people who saw the space capsule go up.
I'm not saying they didn't go up in space. Stanley Kubrick said
nonetheless, Kennedy is different. And I could spend hours talking about
Magic bullets and so forth.
I am convinced that I have a lot of experience in it. Epstein, people are talking about Epstein right now. We can't get the truth on that. So the idea that the government just going to automatically keep secrets, yeah, they can.
But we have watched in recent years whistleblower after whistleblower, people who were in the government, who were in the military, who came forward and have testified that they have seen these things. Now, whether you believe them or not,
we've seen footage of Tic Tacs.
You're right. And a lot of them have had their lives ruined, where they have trashed these people, they have threatened these people. So there are a lot of people who have come forward, and God help them because of it. Seriously.
I'm not saying that I necessarily believe all of them, but if Barack Obama's premise is flawed because there are people who come forward. So
do you think the current commander-in-chief would keep a secret like this, though? This is a man who loves bloviating about everything under the sun. And if he had an alien, he'd bring it out to a press conference just to distract from Epstein or something.
When you dig deep into the government, and I know this sounds deep state, but there is some truth to this, that the bureaucracy in Washington, D.C. some of them do not feel like they have to answer to anybody, including the president, and that they don't necessarily inform presidents because presidents come and go.
A lot of that information.
They stay.
Yes. Right.
And there is that arrogance that exists in our government. So yes.
Yes, this is how conspiracy theorists answer everything. There's always another way to
I hate
sort
the
of
idea of saying conspiracy theorists. How about reality people?
Okay.
How about that?
You want to be called a reality person.
I don't want to be called a tinfoil person.
Well, stop acting like one.
Take the hat off.
I'm not. I am not acting like one.
Then buy the lunar landing one too. You got to take the bitter with the sweet.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
Okay.
Stanley Kubrick filmed that thing on a soundstage for Warner Brothers. We used to work for
What about the thousands of people who watched Apollo 11 in person live?
You think everything you see on TV is real?
No.
I got a couple movies I want to show you.
The people who were there who watched it.
I don't know. In for a penny, in for a pound.
I don't know.
It's
only conspiracy theory
trivializing
when there
this.
isn't actual tangible fact to refute it.
No, that's not true.
That's conspiracy theory.
That's actually not true.
If you're ignoring tangible fact and just going with a theory, that's conspiracy theory.
Also, UFOs exist.
It is the exact opposite. That if you look at the Kennedy assassination, there is tangible fact that they twist and ignore to reach a conclusion that isn't supportable.
Do you think there are alien life forms somewhere in a bunker in Area 51?
I don't know.
It's different than the UFOs. I agree with you.
I don't know.
Unidentified aerial
I just know
phenomena.
that they have not told us the truth.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Christine, and I'm from San Jose, California. Honestly, at this point, Obama talking about aliens being real just feels less shocking than literally anything else happening in 2026, in my opinion. But him saying that he would welcome them if they landed here is believable. And honestly, I would endorse him because he just has that like calm aura and he'd be able to win them over and then we'd all be safe. Like I instantly feel safer.
When you say you endorse him, are we going to be voting for the ambassador to aliens?
I also
1000%.
Something did not go well for Rihanna and A$AP Rocky at the Met Gala. Exactly what is the big debate today, but there's some video that's going around that certainly makes it seem that Rihanna was annoyed about something.
And they seem like the perfect couple in many ways.
They have always seemed that way, but...
Ain't no such thing.
No, there is no such thing. And maybe this is just them being a regular couple. But we got this video of them sitting in their Sprinter van. This is after the Met Gala, right before they walk into, I believe, the hotel where they're staying. And there's an intense conversation going on, or nobody's smiling. Nobody's, again, it's the end of the night, so it could just be that there was a...
Or they could be arguing.
Catching up or arguing about something that happened or that they saw, or people they spoke to that night.
Gee, what
a
a crazy concept, a couple arguing.
But I will say, the other video, which we can't show you right now because we're trying to find out whose video it is.
But we're going to reenact it for you.
We're not going to reenact it, but we'll say this. Fine, all right. So Tawanda can be...
I'll be Rihanna.
Tawanda's Rihanna, and I'm A$AP Rocky, and you're the...
So this is what happened. So
I'm not going to be a thought. I'm not going to be a thought.
She was not a thought.
So there was a girl here, and A$AP Rocky was talking to the girl.
And A$AP is talking to the girl.
Okay,
I'm Rihanna.
Kidding about
Meanwhile, Rihanna's over here talking to the camera, and everyone's like, wow, A$AP is just talking to this chick over here.
I'm here at the Met
I
Gala.
really want to do this.
And it just kind of looks like A$AP's more interested in this
her
conversation with this woman
than Rihanna.
And it
Here's the
seems like,
reality.
what's the reality?
The reality is, like, that woman, I don't think that's what it was.
Well, no, we talked to the woman. She was like a stylist, and they were talking.
Swarovski, she's worked with
I was
Rihanna.
kidding about thought.
Yeah.
Oh, now that she's a stylist.
Now that we know her name's Giovanna, he was kidding about thought.
They were talking about A$AP's necklace, allegedly, so they were just having a conversation. Listen, Rihanna is a mom of 3. It's a long day. We know now that they were not arguing.
Well, they might have been arguing.
No, we know that she's, according to sources, they said that.
They weren't arguing about that. That had nothing to do with that
Nothing.
woman.
She was
Right.
just exhausted. It was a long day at the Met. People, when you have to go to the Met Gala, you start getting ready very, very early. It's a lot going on. She was just tired and she was just ready to go home. And A$AP, in the pictures I saw, looked like he was having a great time.
And was not ready to go home.
Exactly.
We saw this before. They were at another event
The
about a
Gotham
month ago.
Awards.
That's right.
Yep.
And they were kind of going back and forth. She wanted to go home. He wanted to go party.
Yeah, and she was like, "You said we could go home now," and he's still hopping and bopping through.
For
Look
the
at him,
record,
he's having
he
a
went
great
out
For
time.
the
He was
record,
gonna
on
eat-
the night of the Met Gala, after that video, they went back into the hotel, but he went out
And
to
stayed
another
till
after
4
party.
Till 4 in the morning.
Right.
Which
so
is-
maybe that was the argument.
I mean, that's what I'm
thinking. The disagreement, all right? Can we say that? The disagreement that they were having?
This is the thing. You think that they disagree? Like, it's one thing for
they disagree.
No, I'm saying, no.
Disagree.
I know they disagree, but I'm saying, do you think that they disagree about, like, ASAP going out? Like, it's one thing.
Might be an issue.
Just take me home first. Like, you can go out and do you, but, like, take me home first.
How common is it that somebody wants to stay at home all the time and the other person wants to go out?
Very.
Yeah.
Very
So why
common.
wouldn't it be common to them?
That's what I'm saying. It is. It's
But I'm
common.
saying
Just
it might
take
be
me
an
home.
issue.
Just take me.
But it might be an issue.
But just because it's common
Do
doesn't
you
mean
really
that
have
it's an
to go
issue.
out after this? I mean,
My best friend and her
There
husband,
are
her husband
arguments, there are
loves to go
common
out, and my
arguments.
best friend doesn't, but she doesn't get mad at him. She just go do what you do.
yeah, some people say that, and some people say, "What,
do
you
they
don't
mean
want to
it?
be with me?
Right.
What's the matter?"
Or your kids, because they do got 3
Or your
kids.
kids.
Or the thing where they
Yeah.
say it is fine. No, it's fine. Go ahead. But you know it's not fine.
You
Okay,
also
let's
look like-
reenact the kids when they come. Kidding.
Hi, I'm Georgia Blue from London. To me, it definitely looked like an argument, but I feel like as much as she's an icon, people forget that they're literally a normal couple. If they were arguing, though, I love how calm they were, because I know if it was me, I definitely wouldn't be as calm as that. At the same time, they did just look like two tired parents, or maybe they were just kind of hangry.
Yeah, I mean that's. By the way,
They're just very adult arguing.
kudos on us. We just saved a couple $100 on that video.
Yeah, I
with the
think we just-
reenactment.
we've just
We're gonna do this now.
stumbled onto a new thing here. We're going to save a lot of money.
Coming up.
California is a mess. I am second generation Los Angelino, and it's the worst I have seen in my lifetime. The homeless problem and the mental health problem in the state is out of control. I have been chased with a hammer out of the gym by somebody, and I watched this debate last night, and I am just crestfallen.
Be right back.
California is a mess. I am second generation Los Angelino, and it's the worst I have seen in my lifetime. And I wrote some stuff out after this debate last night that I watched on
There was
CNN.
a debate between 7 gubernatorial candidates.
The leading ones of the 61 candidates running. And we'll get into it. But I just want to lay this out to you. First of all, with the thousands of people affected by the fires a year ago, January, the insurance companies are a nightmare right now, that there are people who cannot get paid. They are fighting these insurance companies. Insurance companies are telling them, you have to hire architects to give us plans if you want to rebuild, and they don't have the money to do that.
Don't get bogged down.
I'm gonna go on. There are architects, 100 of them, who want to volunteer their time and help rebuild, and that whole thing has been mired in the city of Los Angeles so that they cannot help. They're blocked from helping. There's a 14% tax in California for people who make a lot of money. And when those people
When you
are
say a lot
taxed-
of money.
Well, I think it's over like
just so-
$800,000, something like that.
Right.
And it's a lot of money. But there are people who are paying 14% state tax, 37% federal tax. So they're giving up more than half their income in addition to other taxes, and a lot of them are leaving the state, and there you lose revenue. I'm going to just say personally, the homeless problem and the mental health problem in the state is out of control. I have been chased with a hammer out of the gym by somebody. I've had my car trashed by a mentally ill person who took a boulder and just trashed my car. And by the way, Hollywood is dead. That my own company, the company that owns TMZ, they now do their syndicated shows out of Atlanta, and they do network shows out of Ireland and Canada. Hollywood is dead because of overregulation. So we need somebody to come in and fix California. And I watched this debate last night, and I am just crestfallen.
It sounds like you would like to have been on stage, perhaps,
No.
behind one of those lecterns.
Oh, maybe. Maybe.
I don't know. But let's bring in someone who was there moderating this debate, because our good friend Elex Michaelson, who's now working at CNN, was one of the co-moderators, and he is joining us now. Elex, you get to handle Harvey's rants.
I mean, are we not ready to vote for Harvey for governor, Charles? Was that not the entire pitch?
You are correct. We are not ready.
Why aren't you running, Harvey?
Yes, we are not ready.
So, look, Elex, first of all, you did a great job. You did a great job. And it was kind of a circus because you have 7 people who are basically not answering your questions, who are taking jabs at other people when you're not even asking about the things they took jabs at. You've got people throwing these zingers out. And I walked away so uninspired by what I saw in front of me that I looked at my ballot last night and I just went to bed and I couldn't even deal.
Well, it's a tough position because you've got all of these candidates who are so close to each other in the polls. So then the question is, do you use your time to attack somebody else that you see as a potential rival to try to knock them down, or do you use your time to try to lift yourself up? And it seemed like a lot of the candidates on the stage felt tactically that it was more important for them to use their time to try to knock somebody else off. And so what that ends up with is a lot of negativity and a lot of back and forth, and not necessarily a lot of inspiring conversations. It is challenging, though, Harvey, when you've got so many candidates. I mean, you mentioned there's actually 61 candidates on the ballot. We did 7 people on stage, and the polls showed they're all pretty close. I mean, Javier Becerra, who's the HHS secretary, seems to be climbing in the polls, which is why you saw a lot of focus on him and a lot of his rivals trying to knock him off. But it's still really too close to call now that ballots are out and voting ends June 2nd.
So, Elex, I know you probably thought this yourself when you watch some debates, and I think it when I'm watching it. I always want to say to the moderator, they're not answering your question. Like, try to get them back on. But with 7 people on stage, I'm just wondering, as you were doing it last night, do you kind of just throw your hands up and go, well, they're clearly not going to actually answer the question. I got to keep it moving, and do you abandon it?
We tried on a few different instances to bring people back to the question, but I thought that there was value, and part of our strategy was frankly to let them debate a little bit because, you know, there is some value in seeing them interact. And if you're so stringent on just tying to the rules, you miss out on the opportunity to see them go back and forth.
Right. I think what you do get, as much as Harvey is upset about them not really addressing those issues, you get to learn a little bit about their character, at least, in their interactions. And maybe that's the best thing you get to walk away with, which is necessary as well. So you didn't get everything you needed.
I mean, there's still a lot of people in California who don't know who any of these people are.
Yeah.
You know, it's the biggest state in the country, and maybe they know Tom Steyer because he spent over $140 million on TV ads. But that has been so annoying to folks that Javier Becerra is now running an ad of different beautiful images of California and say, if you vote for me, the Tom Steyer ads will stop.
Yeah, and that
probably
probably
one that anybody knows because the ads are everywhere.
And it probably works, but it's a gimmick. And look, in my lifetime, there is one person that I really did work hard for, and that was Robert Kennedy. And I was inspired by him. And there was something that I think where he connected with people in a really unique way. I'm not feeling that anymore with anybody. Why?
I think the system is set up at this point with social media to just reward conflict and reward negativity, which maybe may not have been as much the case back in the 60s. I mean, we really haven't had a figure that's all about hope since Barack Obama. And that was 2008, right? It's been a minute since we were in that place. And in this current media environment, where Donald Trump is somebody who understands reality TV and has made that a big part of his media strategy for his entire time as president, I think people have learned the lesson that conflict is what gets you on cable news, gets you on TMZ, gets you in all of these other places. And maybe some of that inspiration has not been as rewarded by the media ecosystem. What do you think?
I think there's some truth to that, actually. And it's sad. And it's sad because, you know, what I just said at the beginning, it's true. I mean, Elex, you live here and you were born here. You know what I'm talking about. We need help.
Well, and that's why we made the first question of the debate was Democrats have been in charge for 16 years in this state.
Yeah.
And we've got the highest unemployment. We've got the most homeless people in this state. We've got the highest cost for gas, the highest cost for housing. Why do Democrats deserve another 4 years? And so that is the way we tried to frame the whole thing. We talked about the issue of high-speed rail. High-speed rail in this state was supposed to go from LA to San Francisco and be done by 2020 at $30 billion. It's 2026. We haven't even laid track. And the estimated cost is $230 billion to go from Bakersfield to Modesto.
But the governor said on Friday it's going great.
Right. And so there needs to be a serious conversation about this. But the problem is Donald Trump is at so the center of our politics that I think there are a lot of people that may not even consider voting a different way because of him. And so, you know, would a moderate Democrat like Matt Mahan, who's kind of bringing up a lot of these issues, be rewarded? So far, he hasn't been. We'll see in the weeks ahead if a lot of what you're talking about, Harvey, which sounds a lot like what he's saying, is that where people are at right now?
Yeah. Listen, your show is great. The story is 9 o'clock Pacific time, midnight Eastern time, Monday through Friday. Pleasure having you on. You did a great job last night.
Thank you. Love you guys. Great to be back with you.
Thanks, man.
Thanks, Alex.
All right, Alex.
Coming up.
All right, some fresh perspective on one of the most iconic nights in award show or music history, talking about the 2009 VMAs, and new perspective comes from the person that Kanye was dating at the time, Amber Rose.
It's partially my fault.
Be right back.
TMZ's got every freaking thing. Big celebs, big stories, big events.
Phoebe Rexa was looking hot on vacation.
Look at the water, too. Did you just say look at the water?
I mean, I'll be honest, that is what I was looking at. All right, some fresh perspective on one of the most iconic nights in award show or music history, talking about the 2009 VMAs and Kanye charging up on stage, interrupting Taylor Swift because he felt Beyonce deserved to win that particular VMA award. So
Kanye, remember, felt that this was actually a win for Taylor beyond just getting the award, because he had a choice phrase in a song later.
Well, that came many more years later.
I know.
But so now the new perspective comes from the person that Kanye was dating at the time, Amber Rose. And she went on the Ball in the Family podcast, talked to them about what was going on behind the scenes, and kind of taking credit for getting the ball rolling here for Kanye that night that ended with him on stage.
It's partially my fault. I don't think I ever publicly talked about this. So when I'm with a man, I'm a Libra. I don't know if that means anything, but I'm like, when I'm with a man and I love a man, I'm his biggest cheerleader. I was with Kanye at the time, and we get in the car. We about to go to the VMAs, and I'm like, babe, you got that bottle of Hennessy upstairs. Like, superstar, you need to get the Henny. We need to be on the carpet. We need to be, just taking shots of Henny on the carpet. And it kind of backfired because, like, all of a sudden I'm just sitting there, and then he's on stage, and I'm like, oh, I was not expecting that. Do I agree with how he did it? No. But was he right? Yes.
So in other words, he should have won, but he shouldn't have done what he did.
Beyonce should have won, right, exactly.
She should have won, excuse me, Beyonce. Can I just,
So blame it on the alcohol.
Well, no, but I just want to say something.
Which totally adds up, by the way.
Took a stand earlier. God, I cannot stand Hennessy. I've tried it once, and it was just like, I just want to say that.
Because I feel
like you're not allowed to say
you want to
it.
be on the record saying you don't like Hennessy?
I do.
Funny, anybody else would probably love having somebody to blame. Like Kanye could be like, see, it wasn't me. It was Amber. She made me drink this. But of all people, Kanye does not want anybody else taking credit for his behavior.
No, that's right.
Don't say you made me do this. I did it.
That's right.
Although I would like to know how much Hennessy he did have.
It sounds like a lot.
So
if he really wasn't, I don't remember. Wait, so there were photos of him with the Hennessy. So I guess he really did down quite a bit of Henny.
Quite a bit of Henny.
Yeah.
Let's go back to 2009 for a second. Now that we have many years, what are people saying about this when the dust settles? Because Taylor Swift's incredibly popular, so is Beyonce. Was Beyonce robbed? What's the prevailing view at this point?
That's the craziest thing about this that people forget that makes no sense. The award that Kanye interrupted Taylor on was she won Best Female Video of the Year. But then later in the night, Beyonce won Best Video of the Year. So how was she the best video overall, but not the best female
video?
It
That
makes no sense.
Was it just a political thing to give them both something?
Yes. It's the VMAs. Who cares?
Was she also up against Taylor in the
I
best
think so.
video?
I don't remember that. But
Yeah, it makes no sense.
That would definitely make
It was
sense.
it was Oprah. You get an award. You get an award. Like that's what it was.
Right. They were splitting it up, and So
Kanye, if he just waited a few minutes, Beyonce would have won anyway.
But it didn't make any sense.
It made no sense. She's right.
In summary, Kanye was drunk, and award shows are stupid.
Right.
And Harvey hates
And
Hennessy.
I don't like
And
it.
Harvey hates Hennessy.
I'm Miss Redacted. I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. And yes, award shows are stupid and Kanye was drunk. It's crazy to me that we're still talking about this. I really like what Amber Rose said, where she said that even if he is right, he went about it in the wrong way. We're all allowed to have our feelings about who won something, who didn't win something. And if you want to uplift another artist, taking away a moment is not the way to do that. I also really want to call out how well Beyonce handled this moment. I think she was in a horrible position because that was so awkward. And the way that she stood on stage with Taylor Swift and gave Taylor Swift a moment, I think was really an incredible example of women standing with each other when Kanye inserted himself into this scenario. And to speak on the fact that people are still talking about this, my dad hates Kanye West for this and has never learned a single new piece of information about him. So everything that's happened in the last 10, 15 years, my father is unaware of. And if you bring up Kanye West, he will say, I hate what he did to Taylor Swift at that award.
I mean, there's a few other things he's missed out on.
What's his stand on Hennessy?
His stand on Hennessy, he is not his drink of choice, but I think if I let him know that that played a factor here, he will also hate Hennessy with you.
Ah, excellent.
Coming up.
Khloe Kardashian is revealing, I guess, what is probably, I don't remember her talking about this before, but she's talking about her DUI. What happened when she actually was in jail.
By the way, nothing to make jokes about, but good mugshot.
Be right back.
Welcome back to TMZ Live. I think there is a crisis in the Kardashian-Jenner family.
I know exactly where you're going.
The crisis is, what the hell do we talk about now? We've been doing our show for how many years?
We've revealed everything about our lives.
We now have podcasts that we have to reveal more on.
Shows, interviews. So we're going to go back in the time machine.
Dig down. Dig down deep.
To the season 1 of the Kardashians.
Yes, and Khloe Kardashian is revealing, I guess, what is probably, I don't remember her talking about this before, but she's talking about her DUI, which she got.
I have no recollection of this.
What year was this again, guys?
2007.
2007?
Iconic, you guys.
1948.
Wow. Was this millennium when she got her DUI. So what she's talking about is what happened when she actually was in jail.
By the way, nothing to make jokes about, but good mugshot, Khloe. Seriously.
I mean, yeah, the smirk is.
You guys, she
It's
gets
a good
into
smirk.
that.
It's a good smirk.
She had glam.
So we knew about the smirk. But what we didn't know is what happened in jail, and she talked about it for the first time.
I was in a holding cell with 23 other women who were all prostitutes besides me, but I was in a very short dress, so I looked questionable, I imagine. And what really fascinates me till this day, because you have to use the restroom in the middle of this holding cell or whatever it's called. I never used the restroom, not one time, and that still fascinates me till this day. So then I had to turn myself in because I had to serve 30 days in jail, which I didn't do all 30 days. And that was much scarier because thinking I was going to spend 30 days in jail wasn't anything I thought about. For that mugshot, Malika did do my hair. She did a good job.
Did her hair before she was arrested.
Before she turned herself in.
You can't call.
You can't call in a stylist or a friend. Hey, could you come down with a curling iron and a blush?
What I don't understand, she said, I sentenced to 30 days?
Yes.
No,
So
how
if
can
you
that
remember,
be if it was her first DUI?
No, because she was arrested, went to jail for the DUI, and then she failed to complete the required terms of her probation.
She violated.
Was supposed to go to jail for 30 days, but if you guys remember, she came in to, it was the Linwood jail here in California.
Do you remember what also happened in Linwood, I believe?
What?
Phil Spector, I think.
Oh, that
But go on.
could make sense.
Go on.
Can you guys guess? She was supposed to serve 30 days. Guess how long she actually was there
3
for?
hours.
Yes,
3
exactly. It was
hours.
never- right.
So it really
But that's
was
what happens.
nothing.
Yeah.
She said it was the scariest moment of her life, though.
But she should have completed the course, too.
Yes.
There's the lesson that they probably didn't bring up during the podcast.
Do you know the weird thing about this, though, is that now you look at the mugshot from 2007, was it? And you juxtapose it with how she looks today. So it's like, doesn't she?
I mean, she still looks good.
No, she looks better.
That
she looks
mugshot-
incredible. But Khloe looks unbelievable.
Yeah, but that mugshot is one of the best, most gorgeous, glamorous mugshots like in celebrity history.
But I still think when you compare it to what she looks like today, whole thing was a flex.
Yeah, I
That's
mean,
what I
Kris
think.
Jenner has it framed in her office.
I'm telling you, they're all flexing.
Hi, I'm Dami from Virginia. We live in a country where the legal drinking age is 21. So at 22, you really haven't learned when too much is too much until it becomes too much. And as a former 22-year-old myself, I could see how Khloe was probably naive, feeling invincible, and not understanding how her actions could harm herself or others. But it's unfortunate, though, because it really does take some people to go into jail to learn their lesson, and Khloe was one of them.
Yeah, 3
She thought she was
hours.
above the system until she was.
She learned a lesson in 3 easy hours.
No, Stefon Diggs did not go to Disney World or Disneyland after winning his trial.
Would that be amazing if
He
they
walked
do
out,
that?
he's like, Stefon Diggs, you just won your
What are you
your
doing
trial."
now? What are you going to do?
He did not do that, but he did have a celebration of sort that I think is more
We should
in
explain.
line with what...
He was on trial, criminal trial, for
Yes.
strangulation involving
his
his former
ex-chef.
chef. And it took the jury nanoseconds to find him not guilty because her credibility was absolutely destroyed in court.
Yes, indeed. So on the heels of that victory, where, remember, he was possibly facing, 5 years?
5 years,
in prison?
Yeah.
So he was very moved by it, emotional in court. Right after, it's time to get back to business.
Got it. Back to the regularly scheduled program. Yes, sir. I promise you, don't worry about it.
So he's not on a team right now.
No.
And that's what he's focused
I
on.
think he
clearly.
could draw a direct line, Harvey, between the trial and not being signed.
So now that he's
That's why
been
the
acquitted,
Patriots released him.
I absolutely
clean slate?
I think so. He's only 31 years old. He was on a team that made the Super Bowl last year, and that was only 6 hours after the verdict was read, and he's already back in the gym training. And his lawyer, by the way, Court Step, says, hey, somebody needs to sign this guy now.
And this wasn't like a close case where it's, they just found a reasonable doubt.
85
Her credibility was just
Right. Can you imagine
obliterated.
someone saying they were choked by this guy and they only deliberate for 85 minutes?
Well, not just that.
Yeah.
The prosecutor in this case does a closing argument and says to the jury, look, I know she lied, and I know she was not very
He didn't say
credible.
lied. He didn't say lied.
Well, what'd he say?
He said, was she the perfect witness? No. And then he said she was difficult. She was divisive.
Right, that she avoided. She was evasive.
Evasive.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It wasn't good. And that was the only evidence they had. So when that's the only evidence, the whole case relies on her testimony, and she bombs.
So does the Patriots bring him back?
That's what I was going to say.
Good
Would the
question.
Patriots re-sign him?
I mean, he was very important for them last year. They've got their own controversy now, obviously, with the
Right, they're
coach.
dealing with
So
the
I don't know
coach.
if they say, hey, he's controversial and let's just move on. But somebody's going to sign him. He's still a
Well,
good
no,
player.
the coach wants him back
Oh, right,
because
you're
it's kind of a
right. You're
diversion.
right. You're right. That's a good point.
Hi, my name is Soso, and I'm from Arizona. And with this entire situation, at first, I thought this was going to be way more serious than it ended up being. I thought that Jamila was going to come through with some damning evidence to really convict Stefon. But obviously, like you guys said, jury only deliberated for 90 minutes. They came back with a not guilty verdict. And this is kind of where my opinion started to shift. I mean, we're now looking at no longer a boss and staff relationship. We're looking at an alleged sexual relationship, which adds a completely different layer to this situation. One thing I want to talk about is this multi-million-dollar demand that was made by Jamila's team and was presented to Stefon for Jamila's cooperation. She said she had no idea about this thing at all, which raised so many questions for me. Of course, there was holes in her testimony. There was unanswered questions that the judge called her out on.
Were you in the deliberation room? Because you sound like a juror who's in the deliberation room.
Are you a big sports fan?
Am I a big sports fan? Not really.
Oh.
Not really.
But that's exactly what the jurors did, and like you said, took them like that fast to go, yeah, not guilty.
Coming up.
Lived the first 20 years of my life 21 years in New York. I've seen a lot of bizarre things on New York City subways. I don't think I've seen anything quite like this. Charlize Theron yelling to people about having sex with her
on the subway.
Be right back.
Lived the first 20 years of my life, 21 years in New York. I've seen a lot of bizarre things on New York City subways. I don't think I've seen anything quite like this. Charlize Theron yelling to people about having sex with her.
On the subway.
Yes. Why in the world would she be doing this? Well, she was on the Subway Takes podcast and talked about something that gives her an ick. Something she hates that when men say to her. And this is how she would rather they discuss sex with her.
Whenever a guy says, I would like to make love to you.
It's an ick.
It's such an ick. Don't say it.
Don't say love making.
Because my I don't want you to make anything with me. I want you to do something with me.
Oh, do things.
Yeah, let's do it. Like, well, don't say that either. That's lame. Just me. Like, honestly, that's it. Like, just say that.
Well, you can talk with your body, which is why it's called body language.
I kind of threw up at that a little bit too. Talk with your body.
Yeah, body language.
It's all making me very nauseous.
Wow. I wonder if she had the same Hennessy that Kanye did before this interview.
No, I think she's actually making kind of a good point.
New Yorkers who normally don't pay any attention to anything on a subway. You heard this woman who's just randomly
hysterical.
like, what?
That was hysterical. But it's like this whole thing about, oh, you put music on and light candles and everything else. It's so passé.
She speaks for all women. I have read almost 200 romance novels written by women.
Wait. Let's back up. What?
200 romance.
I've read almost 200 romance novels
Which
written
part are you
by
stuck
women.
on, the number or the genre?
Both. Oh my God.
You will not see make love, and it's the F word. We just want.
Can I ask a question
straight
about
to the
that?
point.
I'm fascinated.
I really wish you
Is
wouldn't.
Fabio on the cover of all of them?
No, now it's like cartoons.
You're kidding. They stopped doing that?
Yeah, they stopped. Well, no, there's still male model covers. Those are on like Kindle Unlimited, but like the good stuff is cartoons.
Are you asking for a friend?
No,
What?
I mean,
know.
it's like you've read 200.
Last year I read 122 in 1 year.
Oh,
this year I'm only at 30.
No,
this is.
You know what?
But all the books, no one's making love. That's disgusting. It's gross.
Hi, it's Christy Ski from Buffalo, New York. I agree with Charlize on this. I don't really hate it. I think that honestly, a lot of women feel this way these days. And she's a busy woman anyway. Like nobody has time for that, right? We don't have time for any of that nonsense. Just tell us what you want to do with us. I don't know how much I can
she's saying no.
Well, she's saying yes. Tell us what you're going to do to us.
I think she's just saying do it.
Consent. You must have consent.
No, of course. No,
Yes,
but I think
consent.
But also say
and then do it.
specifics, not make love. Like, I mean, I can't get into
Okay,
specifics
don't
on
use it.
daytime TV, but.
Coming up.
Our good buddy Clav learning a very important lesson. He has been charged with a crime for this stunt, which we showed you a few weeks ago, where he and his buddies were rolling around in an airboat in the Everglades and opened fire on an alligator that was dead.
Be right back.
Well, our good buddy Clav learning a very important lesson about firearms.
Not yet.
Huh?
Yeah, he hasn't necessarily learned it.
You don't think
because
he's learned a lesson?
Innocent until proven guilty.
Okay, well, that's true. He has been charged, though, with a crime for this stunt, which we showed you a few weeks ago, where he and his buddies were rolling around in an airboat in the Everglades and opened fire on an alligator that was dead. So it was already dead. It was belly up. But
he's been charged with discharging a firearm in a public place, which is a crime in Florida. And it is a misdemeanor. Had this alligator been alive, it would be way different.
Much different.
Because alligators are endangered, they're protected in Florida, so it would have been a federal crime. And so law enforcement are saying if this alligator was alive and he had discharged the weapon, he'd be in a lot of trouble.
A lot more trouble than what he is.
I hate that he did this. It's just bad optics, but I'm fascinated by Clavicular.
Well, how so?
I just think that you know, he's this whole looks maxing thing. You would think this is all bro type stuff, but I don't think it is. It's different. And it's like this whole different movement with young people that's not necessarily kind of the bro code or the bro.
It's kind of like a new age version.
Yeah.
But the thing is, the guy's kind of spiraling. I mean, I know. He overdosed a few weeks ago. He's getting arrested every other week. I think the addiction to being on stream 24/7 and all the attention he's getting is like causing his life to.
Even though, as you pointed out, he is innocent until proven guilty, but even though we have video of him actually discharging the weapon, I hope the lesson that he learns, and maybe all streamers learn, is that yes, you got to do more outrageous things to like get people to watch your stream, but there's got to be a limit. There has to be a limit.
His rep's defense, I don't know if this is going to help him in the case, but that he was just listening to the licensed airboat guide who told him allegedly that it was okay that he fired the weapon.
Yeah, that is a good question.
So
that would be a good
So that's going to be his defense. So we'll see what happens.
I mean, if the guy is licensed and really did say that, I don't know, man.
That's pretty good defense.
Hey, my name's Lex, calling in from South Carolina, and I feel torn about the issue. On one hand, I want to say, you know, he felt mugged by the alligator, that's why he shot it. But on the other hand, this is the kind of thing you see in a Netflix documentary before it actually happens to a person. It's concerning. Kids need to stop looking up to that kind of thing.
Yeah, no, he's got some issues. What else you guys want to talk about?
Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Robert Renee from Rancho Cucamonga, California. Let's talk about Kanye and the Amber Rose article with Taylor Swift. You guys, we're never going to have another moment like this again. We're talking about it again after 16 years. We are all longing for another Will Smith slap. We're all longing for another Britney Spears kiss. And we're never going to have another moment like that. And I think that's why award shows aren't doing great. But honestly, today's celebrity chaos happens online. You know, people get outraged, make a meme, move on before dinner. And I'm kind of sad we're not going to have another.
I disagree with you. I mean, the award shows are still happening, so you will get another one of those moments. Like you just mentioned, we got Chris Rock.
No, but he's right. What you remember is Will Smith and Kanye and
But Chris Rock wasn't that long ago. What was that, 5 years ago?
No, I understand, but you remember Kanye very well.
And you remember Chris Rock and Will Smith very well.
Who won the Academy Award this year for Best Picture?
This year?
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. I can't remember. I can't remember what I had for breakfast yesterday.
Coming up.
Ted Turner died today. For people who aren't old enough, you know, you're used to cable news now, 24-hour news. It was a crazy idea when he created it.
Be right back.
Ted Turner died today. And in my lifetime, he is absolutely one of the most interesting, innovative people. For people who aren't old enough, you know, you're used to cable news now, 24-hour news. It was a crazy idea when he created it.
1980, the idea of having news on 24 hours of the day, it was...
impossible.
Well, not only impossible, but it also just sounded like stupid. Like, no one's going to watch that.
Right.
And now, look where we are.
It's
so
amazing.
To say that the man had a vision for what television could be, for what cable could be, most of his creations are still on your basic cable. So
read the biography on him. It's fabulous.
Guy.
And I mean, just his whole life and being the environmentalist he is and the relationships, married to Jane Fonda. He is so fascinating. He was a huge, huge figure in American history.